and that is a little bit of TV news. And now this isn't breaking news. We only do a show once a week, so we don't always have breaking news going on. But I thought this was a pretty cool story that was worth mentioning, and that is that Yahoo has recently stepped in to save Community. Now, if you don't know what Community is, it was a show that was on NBC for about the past 5 years. Had people like Joel McHale, I believe Chevy Chase was in it, Allison Bree's in it. So a bunch of good actors. A lot of people really, really loved it. It was kind of a quirky comedy about people going back to community college. So, good fan base, you know, I mean, not the biggest fan base, but a good fan base. And NBC just didn't quite get enough out of it, so they went ahead and canceled the show last year. Now, there was a groundswell of petitions and different things trying to get the show back on air, and a lot of people thought that Netflix was actually going to step in and save it, similar to what they did with Arrested Development. But it turns out a dark horse, you might say, stepped in, and that was Yahoo. Stepped in and they said, hey, we're going to keep the show going. It's now going to be on Yahoo. So I don't know quite how they're going to air it, but it's probably not that hard because you just go to yahoo.com, and I'm sure they'll say, here, press this, and you can watch the movie. So,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. And I was going to say that this seems to be, you know, maybe a trend coming on, because like you mentioned, Netflix came in with Arrested Development.
Don't go that far yet. Don't go that far yet.
Sorry.
Like, no, hold on. Well, and I wanted to mention, because that's going to be what we're going to talk about, really. But I also want to mention.
So why don't we just talk about it, Brian?
Because I want to say something else first.
Introduce the next segment of it.
All right, I'll cue you when you're supposed to do that. And Yahoo is also
Who's producing who here, Brian? Who's producing who?
Well, I'm hosting you, so ha ha.
Producer, I got veto power over hosts. You do what I say.
Says who?
Even though really
let us know if you want
Brendan.
Let us know if you want Brendan to have veto power in the comments down below. We're gonna take a vote, and I'm gonna vote myself, and I'll probably be the only one voting, and I'll vote for me. I win. So we don't even need a vote. I already won.
And I'll veto Brian's vote. So
okay, that's how it's going to go. But yeah, so Yahoo also stepped in and said they were going to keep the budget the exact same, which was a pretty high $2 million per episode budget. So that's pretty cool. Rumors are also that they're going to have a movie to kind of wrap the whole series up in a bow. So, Q.
So, is there a trend for, you know, movies bringing back? We were talking about just a second ago.
Yeah.
Netflix
Netflix
brought back Arrested Development.
Exactly correct. And, you know...
Years later, though.
Years later, which is fine. Like, tell me you wouldn't love to see Firefly brought back by Netflix or one of these groups.
I thought someone was talking about that. Or was that just everyone's wishful thinking?
Well, they had a 10th year anniversary last year, I believe, and so everybody was kind of like, "Oh, they're going to bring it back." No, there really wasn't. But
they
Firefly,
did bring a movie.
Everybody loves the Avengers. Firefly made by Joss Whedon, just like the Avengers. So I mean, yeah, and they did have a movie that wrapped it all up, Serenity, which still to this day is one of my favorite movies of all time. I watched the movie before I watched any of the episodes of the show, and still I fell in love with that whole cast of characters. So that's pretty cool. But yeah. Is this going to be a trend for the future? I mean, are we going to start seeing, you know, a lot of the talent from these network broadcast TV stations, like NBC, ABC, CBS, say, hey, you know what? I'll have more freedom. I'll have the same budget. Why don't I just go to Yahoo? Say, hey, I got this real cool show idea, or Netflix or HBO. Why would you want to put yourself on broadcast TV anymore if it's just such an uncertain landscape?
Well, we definitely see already that there's a lot more original content, and even good original content, sometimes good original content, coming out on these streaming services. Like Netflix has several, Amazon Prime has several, Hulu's is getting a lot actually pretty soon. They already have a few. I guess Yahoo's trying to bring stuff up. YouTube has a whole bunch of shows that are, you know, original shows by the various creators that go through YouTube. So all that stuff is really coming together right now. And the situation we're talking about here, it doesn't really sound like they had an option to just opt out. But once they're dead, then yeah, I mean, if all these other streaming services are already looking for more content to churn out, and they can see something that already has a following, that's just gold for Netflix and Amazon Prime and such, because they also can look at least, you know, if they do a trial, show the old episodes on their service, they can see and say, hey, look, we're getting 10,000, 100,000, however many views of these episodes. Let's use them.
And that's a really good point, because success on one of the streaming sites, or even HBO or Showtime, is a lot. You have to do a lot less to be very successful on those networks. You know, the HBO, the Netflix, and everything. Like a really good successful show, I believe House of Cards is one of Netflix's most successful one. That gets like an average of 2 million viewers per show. Whereas if you put that on to a network TV, 2 million viewers per show gets you canceled within 4 episodes. I mean, that's.
I'm not sure that's accurate. I think a lot.
I'm going to say it's accurate.
I think that it might depend on the time slot you get, because I think there's plenty of shows that don't breach 100 or don't breach 1 million ever per episode. It depends on the time slot. Like primetime shows, maybe depending on your time slot. But
well, I'm not talking about like shows that they show at 12:30 at night. I mean, you know, I'm talking about the primetime shows, and that's, you know, why would you, if you were a talented director, executive, anything that has this really great new show idea, why would you want to bring it to broadcast TV? Yeah, there's the possibility that more people can see it, but with the internet the way it is nowadays, everybody has Yahoo. I mean, and if Yahoo's going to play it for free, maybe put a couple ads in here or there, make just as much money, and you get a $2 million per episode budget, you could make an amazing show. And I bet you Yahoo would be a lot less controlling over what goes on. You could do a lot more. There's a lot less censorship on those, because it's people gravitating towards it freely of choice, not like some people say.
Well, it's not regulated the same way. It's not regulated this. I mean, cable isn't technically either, other than they self-regulate themselves. And Netflix is going to do, and you know, all the others are going to do that depending on what audience they want to reach. So obviously, if you want to reach a broader audience, you still make it more family-friendly. Like you make it so that the teens can watch it.
Depends on your demographic, but you know who you're reaching out to. But I just think it gives you more freedom and a little more creative license. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know in comments down below. At What's My Face on Twitter, what'smyface@gmail.com. Do you think this is the future of TV? Is this just going to be a good supplement to broadcast TV, or are we going to see broadcast TV change into something totally different? Because that's still the only free way most people can watch TV. So I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. So.